In the village of Ogidi, there lived a gifted rainmaker named Uloma. She was born with the ability to summon the rains, bringing life-giving water to the parched earth. Uloma's gift was respected by the villagers, who relied on her to ensure their crops grew and their livestock thrived. Uloma's children, Maduka and Adisi, grew up watching their mother work her magic. They saw the respect and admiration in the eyes of the villagers as she brought forth the rains. But they often argued about who would become the next rainmaker. Their mother did not take their arguments seriously because she believed they were childish arguments. Uloma and her children were the only ones in the entire village who lived in beautiful white huts. She had lost her husband Okoro after the birth of her second child, Adisi. The villagers treated them like kings. Every market day, the elderly women would gather and prepare delicious meals, and they would send the meals to Uloma's house. The rituals in preparation for the rain were usually elaborate, involving drums, dancing, and offerings to the gods. Uloma would climb to the top of the sacred mountain, where she would call upon the rains. The skies would darken, and the thunder would rumble as the rains came pouring down. The villagers would dance and rejoice in the rain. As Uloma grew older, her children, Maduka and Adisi, continued to struggle for who would inherit her powers. They argued and fought a lot. Maduka would chase Adisi round the entire village, convinced he was the rightful successor. Uloma, weary of their bickering, refused to choose a successor, knowing that her gift was not something to be taken lightly.
Mama, please just declare me as the next rainmaker, so this small girl Adisi will stop disrespecting me.
My son, it is not in my place to choose. The gods will choose at the right time, and that will be when I live to the great beyond.
Mama, me, I'm tired of waiting.
Maduka, so you're tired of me, your mother. Mama, don't mind him. Yeah, boy. Adisi, close your mouth. Learn to respect your elder brother. And you, Maduka, stop beating and chasing your sister around.
As the days passed, their fights reduced. Adisi would wake up and prepare delicious meals, and she would take some to her mother's room. Maduka, on the other hand, would sit behind the house angrily. He would even confront his mother, questioning and commanding her to declare her successor. Tragedy struck one fateful night when Maduka, in a fit of rage, unalived his mother Uloma and stole her magic stick. The following morning, Adisi woke up and went about her usual routine. After cooking, she went to her mother's room to serve, but she met the shock of her life. Adisi ran out crying and screaming her brother's name. Then she explained what she had seen.
It's okay, stop crying. Mother has gone to the great beyond. I believe she's in a better place now. Don't cry again.
Maduka, is that all you can say? Mama is gone. Mama is gone.
What do you expect me to do? You want me to start shouting and crying like a woman? Please put yourself together. If you like, cry from now to tomorrow. Mama will not come back. Please put yourself together. I'm going to eat.
Adisi stood there crying as Maduka walked away. She knew something was not right. She started suspecting her brother, so she walked up to him.
Maduka, why are you behaving this way? Won't you go and inform the villagers that Mama is no more? You're here eating as if nothing happened.
Bia, Adisi, allow me to eat now. I will inform them when I'm done eating.
Adisi cried, but there was nothing she could do. Women were not allowed to break such news, especially when there's a man in the house present. She waited patiently for her brother to inform the villagers, but Maduka did not move an inch. As he sat outside that evening, he knew Adisi was suspecting him. Fueled by his desire for power, he began to plot against his sister. That night, he attempted to unalive Adisi, but she managed to escape, fleeing into the forest, and Maduka chased her, but Adisi ran as fast as she could into the thick forest. Maduka realized that Adisi had gone too deep into the forest, so he stopped chasing her. He returned back home, panting and hoping she gets eaten by wild animals. He concocted a lie, and the next morning, he told the villagers that Adisi had tried to end him. He said his mother had handed over the magic stick to him before her death, and out of jealousy, Adisi tried to unalive him, but he escaped.
My people, as I am talking to you right now, Adese knows I will expose her, so she ran away.
The villagers, unaware of the truth, believed Maduka's tale. They mourned Uloma's passing and hailed Maduka as the new Rainmaker. As he went back home, he rejoiced, feeling fulfilled. Uloma's burial was a sorrowful affair, with the entire village in attendance. The mourners wailed and cried, beating their chests in grief. The burial site was adorned with flowers and offerings, a testament to the high esteem in which Uloma was held. As the days passed, Maduka prepared for his coronation as the new Rainmaker. The day came, and he adorned himself with elaborate robes, and the villagers gathered to witness the ceremony. But when Maduka tried to summon the rains, he failed. The skies remained stubbornly clear, and the earth grew dry and cracked. He quickly told them that he needed to rest, and he would make the rain fall the following day. That evening, as he sat outside the hut, he kept thinking and wondering why the magic stick did not work for him. The following day came, and Maduka stood before the entire village, telling them stories, and they all laughed, forgetting about the rain. This continued for several days, and the villagers eventually got tired of his stories. Meanwhile, as Adisi walked around the forest trying to survive, she became so weak and she fainted. But luck smiled on her. A kind old hunter named Uchemba found her, and he carried her to his hut. Uchemba had lost his wife. He lived with his two beautiful daughters. As he took Adisi to his home, they all cared for her and gave her clothes to change into. When she became strong, she explained everything, and they all sympathized with her. They bonded so well. Every evening, they would all sit outside, eating and gisting, but their hearts broke the day Adisi told them she was ready to return to her village. They cried. They would miss her so much, but they had no choice but to wish her well. Adisi journeyed back into the village of Ogidi. Meanwhile, in the village square, Maduka continued to deceive them with his cunning tales, but the villagers became so fed up. Desperate for a solution, they began to shout on him. Suddenly, Adisi showed up. She revealed the truth, and the villagers were so shocked, their faces filled with disbelief and outrage. Maduka, realizing his scheme has been exposed, tried to defend himself, but Adesi's words were met with belief. The villagers turned on him. They stripped him of his robes, and he was banished from the village of Ogidi. Adisi, with the magic stick in hand, became the new Rainmaker. She was hailed as a hero, and the villagers celebrated her bravery. She called upon the rains, and the skies responded. The village of Ogidi was once revitalized, and the people rejoiced. As the days passed, Adisi struggled to come to terms with her new reality. She had lost her mother and her brother banished. She felt lost and alone, also unsure of what the future held. Some young men in the village admired her, but they feared to approach her. But that was not the case of Agumba, a promiscuous man in the village. Agumba started sneaking round Adesi's house. He sneaked around for days and discovered the things she liked. He even sneaked into one of her huts and looked around. One day, Agumba prepared her favorite dish, and he took it to Adisi as she sat outside. She was hesitant at first, but the aroma of the food and Agumba's sweet words eventually won her over, and that was how they became friends. And as days turned into weeks, their friendship grew and they became lovers. That was how they started laying together. Daisy was so happy, but her joy was short-lived. Agumba got close to her for only one reason, to get his hands on the magic stick. One fateful night as she slept, Agumba ran away with the magic stick and some of her belongings. The following morning, as Adisi woke up, she looked for her lover beside her, but he was nowhere to be found. She checked all the huts, but there was no trace of Agumba. She went back inside her hut, and that was when she realized the magic stick was missing. Adisi broke down in tears. She cried, "I regretted ever meeting Agumba." She informed the villagers, and they all blamed her. They would visit her house every morning and point fingers at her, insulting her and calling her all sorts of names. They sent out warriors to look for Agumba. The warriors searched all the bushes, forests, and neighboring villages, but Agumba was never found. The people of Ogidi were so devastated, they no longer had the power to summon the rains at will. They were forced to wait for the rainy season to come, like everyone else. As days turned into weeks, they stopped insulting and blaming Adisi. The villagers began to realize that they had taken the magic stick for granted. They had it so freely without even stopping to think about the consequences of their actions. They had forgotten that the stick was a gift and that it was not theirs to wield forever. As the months passed, the villagers learned to adapt to their new reality. They began to plant crops that were more drought resistant, and they learned to conserve water. They also began to appreciate the beauty of the rainy season and the way it brought life to their crops and their community. But even as they adapted, the villagers never forgot the magic stick and the power it had once held. They told stories about it to their children and grandchildren, and they passed down the legend of the stick from generation to generation. The story of the magic stick became a reminder of the importance of appreciating and never taking anything for granted. It was also a reminder that even the most powerful gifts can be taken away, and that true strength comes from within. Thanks for watching. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and loved ones. See you.